So another week, another podcast. Daryl back here in the headquarters. Got a couple people hanging out here today, doing some work around the office, but more about that some other time. Anyway, got a couple quick things wanted to throw out there for you. Obviously, this is a review site, so we got a couple reviews that I really wanted to make mention of. Something, that I haven't done recently, but we had two in particular this week that really deserve a little extra. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about the melodic black metal band Harakiri for the Sky. It was an album that I was kind of sold on initially by the artwork. I thought it was really great artwork, and the color scheme reminded me a lot of the Alceste album Ikai de Lune, which obviously we were huge fans of at the time of release. But the biggest thing for this band, they're Austrian, is it's only two guys. One guy does all the harsh vocals, the other guy does all the instruments, and I just think that the combination of the two was just pretty incredible. I have no bad things to say about it. I can't even imagine what went into the recording of the album. It was just absolutely amazing. Quality-wise, was really something special. And I think that alone, should be commended. But when you take the fact that, they're doing a melodic style of black metal, and it's this perfect yin and yang, because in one hand you have this great melodic instrumental with just great guitar melodies. That was one of the keys. And then you just layer these ridiculously harsh vocals over the top, as gritty and raw as you can imagine. The two together, it just worked really, really well. So that's something that I think they should be really, really proud of. That's something. And then it was a real big surprise for me. A band from Ontario, Canada, Unbowed or Unbowed. I assume it's Unbowed. One of the most impressive melodic death / folk / thrash EPs that I've heard in quite a while. They had a self-titled EP that just came out, and if you are into the melodic death realm, something like, let's say, Insomnium, then you should absolutely check out this EP. It's only 5 tracks, but it was absolutely massive, and I think that in this case, it's pretty impressive to put out something of this quality at this stage of their career. They have it actually for the Name Your Price option on the Bandcamp site, which is, I believe it's unbowedofficial.bandcamp.com. And, I think it's worth a listen. And I think you'll listen to it, and I think you'll like it. And while, you can download it for free, every little bit helps. And, bands like this, obviously, the little bit that you can give is a big deal for them. So you should definitely get over there and get that done. and I do apologize to them specifically because I listed them as a 5-piece, and there are 6 of them, and I neglected to mention their bass player, Zach, and I feel bad about that, though he points out later he's just the mascot, and again, I am sorry for that. So, but anyway, between Unbowed and Harakiri for the Sky, those two alone made this a great week. And we're really starting to get into that period where 2013 releases will be more prominent, and we'll get away from 2012, which obviously we're still in that middle ground now. On the flip side of that, the band Visions of Tragedy had their EP reviewed this week, and that one was not quite as good. There are elements to it that were pretty fantastic. What? Yes, the artwork. Yes, he wanted to make sure I mentioned the artwork. The artwork alone was pretty awesome, kind of like that post-disaster wasteland with nature retaking the world. But the music unfortunately did not live up to it. It was a little one-dimensional, a little bit flat. You were waiting for something to happen because they set themselves up so well so many times, and then just nothing would happen. It's kind of like that M. Night Shyamalan movie. If he left out the twist, and it was just, people talking for 2 hours. That's pretty much, what this album equated to. And it was unfortunate because, the good parts were very good, but they were outnumbered by the parts where, one particular melody and one particular theme would run for, 6 or 7 straight minutes with really no lateral movement whatsoever. So that's always, a disappointment, but, I do have hope for them for the future. Now, I mean, if you reach back into last week, and even the week before that, towards the end of the year, we, An Autumn for Crippled Children had a new album right at the end of the year, and of course, Appalachian Winter and the band Tidings, which you should definitely check out their EP as well. But, as I said, the music industry slows down this time of year. There aren't a whole lot of releases, but now that we're into the middle of January, a lot of stuff is going to start coming. So, over the next couple weeks, you'll see that migration to the 2013 releases, and that also includes this coming week, one of my favorite bands that I feel like I don't listen to enough, the band Fen. They have a new album coming out. It's called Dust Walker, and this one, I've been waiting for a while, and it does not disappoint. I'll just say that for now. I mean, if you haven't checked them out, it's a 3-piece band from London, and I don't know what to call them other than really avant black metal. I don't know, but they manage to just do amazing things every time they put out an album, and Dustwalker is no exception to that rule. So I definitely think you should check out that review next week and check out the album. But it's an interesting time right now, and hopefully we'll keep up with everything. We do have a couple new people coming into the fold. You'll see their debuts coming shortly, and I'll make sure to give them a proper introduction when that time is right, which will be very soon, possibly next week, possibly the week after. Who knows? We also have a bunch of interviews coming up because during the holiday season, it is really tough to manage the 40, 50, 60, 80 hour a week day job and doing the site full time. And I try to do both full time, and unfortunately, it gets difficult. And we worked really hard. I mean, the few of us still here, we worked really hard to get all this done. But some things got kind of left and went to the wayside. But we will get back on that. So we're going to have interviews coming with Malnat as well as Aphelium. And we're going to get a couple of these other bands hopefully on board to do interviews in the very near future, which hopefully we'll get back in the routine of getting those out on Saturdays for you guys every week. And if not every week, damn close to it. But with all that said, there was one other thing that I kind of wanted to mention, and that was that in the coming week or two, we're going to be looking to change some of the design on the site, and I'm hoping to get everything migrated over to the official sorroweternal.com name very soon. It's been sitting there for like a year untouched because we wanted to keep the domain, and we registered that, but it's a slow process of building the site the way we want it. So hopefully in the next couple weeks that will get migrated over, and then everything will go officially to sorroweternal.com. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But in the meantime, one of the things I've been throwing out there when I've talked to some of the people through the site and everything is just the albums that you've been listening to recently that you just can't get away from. And everybody has those few albums that are just the constant standby. And I wanted to throw it out there because I have kind of rested into this place where, I'm still listening to so much new music a week, but I have 2 CDs recently that I've been stuck on, and it's just been like changing back and forth on my rides, around town or, to do other stuff. And that would be number 1, Appalachian Winter, Dan Klein's new album, Ghosts of the Mountains. I've been stuck on that fairly recently, and it doesn't seem to be going away. So you should definitely check that out because it's pretty addicting. But the other one, and I don't think I gave enough lip service to this, was my number 1 EP of last year, the Blizzard at Sea EP, Individuation. And if you haven't listened to that yet, I suggest you do so. And they had a successful Kickstarter account that got everything in the making, and we kind of followed that, and it's pretty amazing. And the finished product is great, artwork is great, and everything. But the album itself is worth every penny. And my suggestion to you would be that if you have the time, and even if you don't have the time, you should make the time to go over to their Bandcamp site. It's blizzardatsea.bandcamp.com, and check out the new album. And even if you're just streaming it, stream it. Because I think that after you stream it the one time, and you get through the 3 tracks, Accelerating Returns, The Technological Singularity, and Longevity, I think that you are not only going to want to buy the album digitally, but it's $5 for the CD, $5. So I really suggest that you go do that, and make sure that you show some love for a band who is doing things the absolute right way. So make sure you do that. Some awesome progressive post-sludge, whatever you want to call it. It's just all parts awesome. So go check that out in the meantime, and keep up with the reviews, because there's going to be some big albums coming soon that you're really going to want to listen to. And make sure you support all of these artists in any way you can, whether it's digital downloads, whether it's going and buying their CD, whether it's buying a shirt, seeing a show. Make sure that these bands get some of your support, because that's the only way we're going to get more music. And we all know that obviously metal is kind of what we're into, and we don't want it to go anywhere. So make sure that these bands get at least a couple of your dollars here and there to make sure that they can stay doing what they do. So anyway, in the meantime, I'll see you guys next week. Keep an eye on things for some big changes, and I will introduce our new counterparts in the near future. Until then, fuck you, Dolphin.